Ooh. Okay. We here. We here. We here.
We're here.
What's up, people? We are here. We are here in Power CoHort 18. I'm Kevin Kev in the house. So we got Miss Atara Estes on the show for episode 2, y'all. So y'all sit back for a minute and check out this here intro. Oh, look at you. You got to put our glasses on. Yes.
I gotta put the glasses on so I can see you. Hey, people. Got them on a couple of screens around here.
On a couple screens, y'all. What's going on? Good evening. Welcome everybody that's tuning in right now. Welcome to Empower CoHort 18 podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Kev. And let me see. What we do here, for those that don't know, we just kind of amplify the voices of community health workers. We just amplify their voices. And that means, once again, credentialed, non-credentialed, or people who are working in the community who identify as a community health worker. Now, October is kind of a big month, or every month it's a big month. But part of this month, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we're going to talk to what we call in the cohorts the silent warrior, Miss Atara. I will let her introduce herself, and you come on with it, Queen.
Hey, everybody out there and wherever we are broadcasting at. Hi. I'm Atara, TATU Estes. Thank you for having me here on this platform. We are at it again, raising awareness on Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We are going to go in as deep as Kevin wants to dive in deep on this subject. Some things I'm going to put a disclaimer out there in advance. I probably will say it a few more times because I want anyone who's listening to this broadcast and watching to be mindful of your own emotional triggers of what I'm going to be sharing, because domestic violence is a very sensitive subject, and I am not insensitive when it comes to someone else's healing process. So I'm only going to be sharing about my story. I'm going to speak from first person. I would never speak about how someone else should heal, how they should process, but I'm going to tell you what happened, and I'm going to tell you when it happened, and then somewhere along the line, maybe y'all can find out how I recovered.
Oh, wow. Okay. So y'all heard us say as much as I wanted to. Now, once again, disclaimer that, hey, for everybody that's watching, and make sure that anything you hear that may trigger you, please, we advise to just step away. Take a moment for self-care, because what this young lady will be sharing might be a little triggering for some. It might bring up some thoughts of what have you, or even situations that you may have encountered in your life or you're encountering now. We do suggest that you take care of yourself, walk away. This program and this episode is not meant to trigger anybody. We just want to bring awareness from one who has survived it. So, first off, Miss Queen, Miss TATU, I never called you TATU. I was like, wow.
It's okay. That's my nickname I grew up with. So you get to embrace some of my childhood.
Okay. See, and let me get one of these out here now. I think that was September. When September was like suicide awareness month or something like that.
Was
Something was one of those months.
probably so.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. Please don't quote me on
Okay.
that.
So what y'all see me got on right now, I'm representing my first cohort that I taught with Atara and Big Brother Ryan. Trayon Gray. Shout out to Trayon Gray. This is Trayon Trey
Yes.
Strong, a suicide
Yes.
in the hat, of course. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm
rocked mine
representing.
yesterday.
I just wanted to share that. And I text Trayon and said, hey, I'm wearing your t-shirt and hat tonight. So tune
That's
in.
right.
So shout out to Trayon and all cohort 24. So
All the cohorts. We send
all
love to all of y'all, but 3 y'all know.
cohort 18.
You got to
No,
do that. You got to represent.
y'all gonna know. On here, when you see me, you gonna see me. We gonna rep your cohort wherever you at. Rep
That's
your
right.
cohort.
Be
So,
proud.
Mr. Tara, so you are a community health worker, right?
Yes.
So, before we lead into the domestic violence part, what, how, give us a small process of you becoming a community health worker.
How I became a community health worker?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. As I'm sharing and you all tuning in, share this, please. Share with other people so they can be in tune with all of us. Don't keep it to yourself. This is share, share, share. Share it forward. Thank you.
Yes, yes.
How I become a community health worker, really from my lived experience as a single parent raising 2 daughters. In 2016 was really when we started the community health workers curriculum at the St. Louis Community College. Shout out to St. Louis Community College. Shout out to
Yeah.
Maria Hopkins, Nico, the whole staff,
Mhm.
the whole team. And I don't want to miss nobody's name because we got a lot of new people. So shout outs to all of you. But
Right.
Miss Ginger, Miss Smith was our teacher. And Miss
Okay.
Ginger
Okay.
came afterwards. And I think that would be 2017, 2018. But
Okay.
2016 was the first set of cohorts to start the community health workers workforce.
Okay.
And I was cohort 3, proud.
Right.
And we ended our semester in December. And I got into the class because I was going through a transition of work. I was going through my daughter, shout out to my baby girl, who was battling with mental illness at that time. And my work laid me off and really dismissed me because I was taking care of home. And how many parents know that your child comes first in whatever the crisis? So I took the L, didn't have no other choice, and was unemployed. And the community health workers course came available. And during that time, Miss Lori saw something of my story, knowing my background of survival and the things that I had to go through to be an advocate for my daughter with her behavior health issues and medication conflict and all the different struggles that I was dealing with my daughter at that time. And I've been an advocate about mental illness way before any of my family members recognized that they were battling with it. And it, coming from myself personally, being a survivor and going through post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety, I wanted to not be ashamed to get help. But I was still under some stigmas
Right.
throughout this time to where I wasn't as vocal as I am now, but I knew I needed to help my daughter. Lori saw something in me and said, I know a job that I think that you would really be good at. And I would not, I got to thank her for actually believing in me to take on this job because I've been an advocate working in court advocacy for victims of domestic violence, like my previous job. And that's what I was doing on my off time. I volunteered all of my time to help victims, survivors, just getting the help that they needed. And now you offer me a job to help reentry space.
Wow.
And I'm saying that to say I wanted to help, and I wanted to help in this way to help keep the criminal population, bring it down and find a way of healing it instead of us still running away from why we're doing it. What happened to you? You know, because I didn't know that if you look at someone who's committing the crime, they have a history of trauma as well. We might not be sympathetic or empathetic throughout the process because we're the victims at that point in time. But later down the line, you realize the accountability of some things that I only worked on myself to be better for me first, my family, and then it went out to my community. So I started get this job at IHN when I graduated. Integrated Health Network was my door. And I was working as the first female community health worker in a reentry space, introducing CHWs in the city jails. And we were dealing with our target population was the young adults. And I always had a passion to help young adults because they were my soft spot. You know, they're so impressionable and they're so lost trying to find their way and discover themselves. And I remember when I was that age that I wish I had someone who really could stir me in the right direction. So this job came open. I was all up in the jails. It wasn't an easy thing at first, but I would say between me and Philip starting out in that arena, and Philip came on after I saw him in a class and got him to enroll and get a job at IHN, and we became a team task force. And the task force began to operate in different spaces and places that was never done as a community health worker. And so we set the bar kind of high and develop best practices that is still known right now that you can go and utilize my work, our work, and I still can carry this work in any criminal justice space to let you know how a community health worker can be beneficial in your space. So community health has been a trailblazer right now.
And I'm glad that I got into the class. And for those who aren't credentialed, this is for you too. Non-credential and those who identify. And you were speaking about the I think you were saying something about it was to the point to where you have a voice now, and you can kind of speak about it, you know, and that comes to take accountability of what's going on with you. In other words, and as we say in the CHW world, the CoHort world, you know, that self-care is very important. So let me ask you a quick question real quick. Do you think that most of anyone, black, white, green, or purple, do you think that it's better now because of social media that they can come out and be vulnerable enough to tell their story, to even acknowledge that something is wrong, that I need to ask them for help? Do you think that it's better now that people are asking for help versus back then?
Yes and no. The only reason why I'm going to say yes, it could be if you're using it in a positive way to get that help. No, if you're being judged based on you coming out and trying to share and cry out for help and someone abuse that information that you're sharing with them, and it becomes, you know, you really be embarrassed, and it tears you down, your self-confidence of wanting to get help, but feeling ashamed if someone is not respecting you for what you just said, that you're needing some type of resource or some type of friend to just listen. Sometimes you don't even need somebody to solve it. You probably just need to vent in the moment so you can figure it out. That's why I say yes and no, because our social media now can be good for us, but it all depends on that person. It's on an individual basis. I say it like that.
And I do agree. And answering that question, I was looking for both of those, and the yes and the no. And I hear a lot of I see a lot of programs, and I hear a lot of programs that says something about how social media, and it's basically how it's being used. It could be good, it could be bad, and that depends on.
You can weaponize people in a bad way and really put them over the edge. And suicide is, I think, a lot higher I don't have the stats, but y'all can do y'all research to what I'm saying. But suicide is definitely a lot heightened due to what is on social media in a negative way. Let's say that. Now, in what way are we talking about in particular? I don't have the stats, but please be mindful. Just be mindful.
Yeah, please look at the stats, and we are ones that'll tell you that we're not experts. We can just only tell you, like we said, recovery through our experiences, strength, and hope. And one thing that I learned being going through trauma and everything with my recovery is that I had a voice with me being a DJ, but it took a while for me. It took me to like, after I think my 5th year in sobriety, that's when it took me that nudge to just say, okay, I need to really talk to somebody. I really need to do something, because one thing about when it comes to domestic violence, trauma, or what have you, whatever the case may be, whatever you're going through, just going through the motions, going to a meeting, reading a book, and all that, that's all fine and dandy, but you got to do the whole process in order to, start healing. In other words, you have to go to your meetings, you have to talk to your sponsor, talk to other people who have gone through that exactly, and see how they came out. Now, you may not, and I tell people all the time, you can't do what I did because my sobriety is different than yours. But at least you can, you can tweak the way I did something, but you got to put it in your way. So still, you have to do, the work has to be done by yourself. It's got to be. So, yeah, that's cool, boy. So, one other off the wall question. But why is it that women go through domestic violence more than no stats? Your opinion.
I personally don't want to answer it because I don't want to step on no toes, but I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna answer it. The reason being that I'm gonna answer it because I got into advocacy to be a voice, and everybody has an opinion. Okay, so this is my opinion, whether people gonna agree to it or not. But I feel that some things are generational, that we have not. We don't recognize certain things are the red flags that are picking the people. Sometimes we get in personally, draw the people from a trauma bond space and not realize they haven't healed, and you only have in common the trauma, and you think that you can heal. Not saying that it's impossible, but you can't heal them. You can only heal you. And it's an individual thing. And I also believe that this is, as they say, this is a man's world. They want to bring up, and they want to make women be in such a submissive state of being. And submission is not always yes or no. So no, sir. It's almost just knowing, as they say, your lane.
Okay.
Well, I have a lane. And it's not for you to dictate to me, because I know how to be mindful to allow anyone, male or female, to take the lead in whatever area they are good at. Now, if you're not good at something, I don't think most women feel like they should give you that. And that becomes an inferior thing, which causes intimidation, which causes you to get threatened, because now they feel like you rebelling. You're doing things to antagonize them. Them would be male or female, because women abuse men as well. And I know it's more women than it is men, but I just want to say no one needs to be abusing no one.
Right.
So when we see that women are getting targeted and being abused, it's almost like it's a more known thing for submissions, for control. And it's really more of control, and it is controlling the mind. And when you have that mind under that restraint, that's oppression.
Yes.
And they can only remain fearful if you got in their head enough to make them feel that wherever you are, they got you. They don't even have to be right there in your presence, and they just say something, and you can move in fear. So it's one of those things that I witnessed. It's one of those things that I've been through.
Yes.
And sometimes it takes a long time to heal through that, just to regain yourself that has been lost in it.
Right. Okay. And the reason why I asked that and made it simple, and I knew I was going to get that good answer, that great answer, is because for somebody who is listening, somebody who is watching, they may not know. They may not know that this situation that they're in, and that toxic relationship, this is okay. They might think that it is the norm. And she just gave her opinion on it. I hope you ladies were listening. I hope you take to heed that if you are, once again, we are not here to trigger anybody. If you are feeling uncomfortable with this conversation, please walk away. We are just telling it like it is from someone who's been through it. So let's talk about your journey with the message. Uh, like I said, as deep as it, go in and come out. Let them know, because what I post and the reason and what I posted was I said a domestic violence survivor. Please share.
Will do. I would say starting at September 13th, 2002, I survived being blindfolded, shot, and left for dead, thrown in the trunk of a vehicle, and left for dead to be led to nowhere. Due to the domestic violence of my oldest daughter's father, who felt that he couldn't communicate in the matter of we could have resolved it better. But I would say surviving something so horrific at that time and going through the journey of why did he do this? What did I do to make him want to do this? I would never fully get the answer. We did not have past arguments. We didn't have a pattern of abuse. We did not, and it was based on dating. We were young, college students. I would say we were in our late 20s, trying to get our accounting degrees, and we both were just headed in elevating our careers in some type of way. And we met in the classroom during our studies, and it led to us having a romantic relationship. It did not. We had the typical go out to the zoo, go out to the park, the little picnic. You're doing everything to court the person, and and then you're encountering to be sexually active with that person within that 3 months of us coming together. A child is formed. And throughout the time of finding out that I was pregnant, I would say I was more shocked because previous in 1992, I lost a son to premature birth. He only lived for 3 hours, and I was traumatized from losing that child because I didn't know I was pregnant, one, at the age of 18. Then when I found out I was, and accepting that I was being pregnant, I lose exactly what I thought I would be raising. Wow. Years down the line, I get pregnant, and I'm like, really? I'm pregnant. Whoa. But I'm thinking like, maybe this is a redemption. I'm healed finally to where I can get pregnant again, because I tried many times before.
Yes.
But let it go. Just let it go. Wasn't even thinking about trying to get pregnant or have a child. Find out I was pregnant, let the young man know that I was expecting, and instantly his whole demeanor changed. Wow. It was like, who's the father?
Wow.
You didn't even hesitate to actually think about the time frame that we were together, and lo and behold, it didn't end well by me having to carry throughout the pregnancy alone. He left me by myself, and he was very mean about it in writing. So understand, the letter do kill the spirit. When people are saying mean things to you and calling you different things that you felt like, why am I all these bad things? I wasn't bad things when we first met. So now why am I all these bad things now that we have a child that's coming in between? Had the child, he disappeared. And a year and a half later, 2002, I'm back, reappears.
Oh, wow.
Mind you, I had to get on public assistance. I was living at home with my mom because I had high-risk pregnancy, and I couldn't take care of a child by myself. So I was at home, living at home with my mom and my other siblings. And it was hard because my mom had to take care of not only my sister, but myself and the newborn.
Right.
I had to file for what they call government assistance, TANF, whatever, to get some type of help aid to help my mom. When you do that, child support wants you to say who the father is. So I wrote down, this is the name. I don't know the address. This is where he last lived. They went to find him. That's what made him show back up. Didn't know it then, but put two and two together. Be like, oh, you didn't just appear out of the blue. Someone contact you.
Right. Right.
So when he did come back around, he made it, try to where it like, I really want to see you. I want to see my daughter. I want to see it. And when he saw her for the first time,
Right.
he saw himself.
Okay. Okay.
Like, and even though they still had to do this test, but he saw like, I need to go see. Okay, well, just like how
Right.
you think I feel that I'm carrying the child and have the child and knowing that she looked just like him. And wow, wow. So when the test came back 99.99999999999, it was almost like, okay, now what's next? But throughout that time, I was found out throughout my pregnancy to go back that there was another young lady who he was really living with, who had
Yeah.
another life with me. He was playing a different life with me, that she was
Wow.
expecting and had a child. So now he has two children coming at the same time.
Wow. Oh,
He has a life where everyone knows who she is, and me, I'm coming to be the skeezer.
oh wow.
So I'm like, but our relationship of getting to know one another, no, I didn't know the family. No, I didn't have time to meet the family. We were getting to know one another. And these are the things that happen when we don't, investigate a little bit further. I wasn't even thinking about that. This is what
Yeah.
just two young people do. So when I found out the young lady did have her child, um, I'm like, okay, you have a child and you got another child. So, I mean,
Yeah. Right.
what you want me to do? I'm not against any of it.
Right.
The
Right.
children are innocent. That's
Yeah.
me. Children are innocent, so I'm not upset about her. I'm not telling you, oh, you need to leave her. I don't have a leg to stand on. I just want to
Mhm.
know what you're going to do concerning the child that you have with me.
Right.
And he came back trying to finesse and perpetrate like he was, not with her anymore. She left him being a single parent and all these other little deceptive things that I found out after the fact that he still wasn't telling the truth.
Right.
So
Wow.
it led to that night in question. I was working, I was going back to school. I had her in a daycare facility to be taken care of while I go to work, while I go to school, and all those different things. And he wanted to begin picking her up.
Right.
So they will, can I begin picking her up and taking her to my house? And she was reluctant because she didn't know him. And, children got to get used to you seeing you in order
That's
to be
right.
able to reach you. And I said, you haven't been around. I'm sitting up here with the vision of I would love for my daughter to have her father in her life. So I wasn't going to resist that. Go ahead, she'll get used to you. Enjoy spending time with her. It was terrible. He called me every chance he got. She's not eating. She won't let me touch her. She won't. I'm like, well, want to bring her back? You know,
He
I'm
was
trying to
bringing.
let you step up, for you what you're saying, but you're telling me what she's not allowing you to do.
Right.
So when I did become acquainted with the other young lady, I was okay with my daughter being there with them because she was a female that was able to care for her. Now I trusted that because if you would have did something to my child, then that's all different. But you got
Right.
to understand, I believed in village
Yes.
growing up, and because I saw that within my own growing up. Now my mom we didn't have my father at home, but I had my
Yeah.
cousins and my aunts and my uncle, and guess what, it became a village. It didn't matter who wasn't there, we got everybody covered. So I didn't feel threatened by the young lady being attentive to help, because guess what, he couldn't even attend to her because she wouldn't even give him the time of the day. And by her having a maternal instinct for her, she took to her and took care of her.
Oh,
When he got me and picked me up and wanted to take me home, supposedly, he wanted to blindfold me and to say had a surprise for me. And the surprise came to where he wanted to end my life. So um, you don't know. You don't know. You can say we got red flags. Some you can, but when you're having a dream of having someone to be a part of your life or your child's life and just being in this missing factor of what you didn't have growing up. You're just trying to blend. You're just trying to make families be what they need to be together. I didn't try to make believe that he was trying to come back to me, but he didn't act like he wasn't trying to get with me. But neither here nor there, because he was still with her. So he said what he needed to say to get by, to get his daughter, and that's what it was. For him to try to end my life, I have to say honestly, I think it was the changing point of my life and the hardest thing. That I know I've been through some things in my life, but I think to succeed in penetrating a whole bullet in my body that is still in my chest cavity and can never be removed, nobody can tell me there isn't a God. Because what I had to come through to survive.
Because it's not easy to, hey, Trigger, please walk away. She's sharing her experience. We great notice to that awareness. This this happened, and you create something, which is your nickname, right? To kind of help people with, it's I like to just say TATU. It's TATU. So going through that led to TATU, which is Thriving After Trauma Unshamed.
Yes.
Tell a little bit about that, if you.
TATU is a nickname that was given to me by a very important person who helped me to learn how to survive in the streets of New York. My mom's ex-boyfriend is from Belize, and he took us in as his own children. And I was hell on wheels back in the day. I was very impactful with being direct.
Okay.
When people did things, they remembered me, and I didn't come to talk. It was more action. So I wanted to change the because I cared about my family. So they knew that I was always about my family, and they're like, y'all know that's his sister, or that's they always put me, and I was the oldest. So people were like, have y'all met TATU? I think y'all might wanna fall back, because she's a beast, when you get on the bad side. So and I meant business, and it wasn't always fighting. It wasn't like physical. I've always been an advocate growing up, and I've always made sure that nobody was bullied on my watch. Nobody was left out feeling like they didn't have somebody to protect them. No, I don't know why I thought I was everybody's hero in some type of, like, I had to rescue them, but I just didn't like innocent people being taken advantage of when I knew that they could not defend themselves. So it was one of those, you got a name from making an impact of making sure you're taking care of business. And now I'm still taking care of business, but I do it all by my pen and by my voice. And I make sure that what I've gone through doesn't define me, but allow me to show the healing aspects of my recovery, to thrive after the trauma and be unashamed about it. Because there was a lot of shame that went amongst all of that with my journey, to where it was really shaming me for being with a man, and you didn't look, and girl, you knew better. And it's like, okay, what would you have done if you were in my shoes? Because you're speaking from experience, or are you speaking from what you would have done if you were me?
Right.
So I always try to be careful now in anything that I speak out to anyone. You can't tell nobody else's story. Like, I really can't tell my daughter's story.
Right.
But I know she has a story.
Yes.
But one story that I know I can tell, and nobody can tell me that is a lie, is mine.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't let no one come and tell your story better than you. It's your story. You know the ins and outs. You know what you want to share. You know how disgusting it may have made you feel, and you know how it made you feel like a warrior in the end when you recovered from it
Yes.
all. You know, you went through all type of levels of deceit and I emotionally, just because I didn't physically die, I emotionally tapped out. I was numb. I did not have no more life. It was just like I was just existing. And everything about me left my recovery to be harder for me to heal from my physical, my nerve damage in my body was just, I still have it. I still have complications. Yet 22 years later, I still have complications. I suffer from chronic migraines, from nerve damage. If I get too stressed about certain things that I'm not letting go, I instantly get crippled
Right.
because you frightened again. You went back in that fright space to where it was when you first had that incident, and it make your body relive it.
Yeah.
So understand, just because you may be seeing someone, still be mindful not to re-traumatize them on certain things, because their recovery is theirs. Their story is their story.
Exactly.
It is not for anyone else to tell it. And I want to say this while we are being recorded, because the young lady, and I'm not saying any names, but the mother of his other mother, she's a joy. She's beautiful. She was innocent. She came to me. We got through some bumpy roads, but overall, we respect one another and we put our kids first.
Right.
And that took more maturity to do than all the other that you can kind of see
Yeah.
fighting over, he said this, no, he said that. We had to heal in our different spaces. And I can say kudos to her for allowing herself to come to me and for me to be open to allow ourselves to heal from that very moment. Whether she wanted to come to me or not, I had been in a forgiving state of being a long time, but forgiveness is still a process. Sometimes it still hurt.
Yes.
You pull that band-aid. Wait. You need to heal a little bit more. That's go. Oh, wait a minute, they ain't ready to come off yet. Let it heal a little bit more. So she did something that allowed our children to know one another.
Right. Okay.
Now that they're grown, it's up to them to stay together. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't on us. You can't blame us for not knowing who your siblings are. You know what I'm saying? They can't make no mistake on our watch. So I just believe, let everybody know who you belong to.
And
Because you can make a mistake and end up dating.
yeah, that my cousin. That my cousin. Well, you
Right.
know that's from
Put that out there. Put it out there. I didn't want no mix up, no hiccups, no mistakes. Ooh, no incest. No incest.
Oh man, and that's
So
good.
I have to say that.
And that's good. And once again, kudos to you because a lot of people, once again, if you're looking at listening, it's not meant to trigger you. I will keep saying that.
Hey, everybody.
If you just make sure you walk away, but healing process, that's the part that gets you through. It is a process. Notice my words. It is a process. Nothing happens overnight. You have to go through the process, the journey of healing if you want to heal. Whether it's domestic violence, whether it's trauma, just like with me with my sobriety, just going to the meetings one enough. You have to heal yourself. And forgiveness. I like how you said forgiveness because when I was getting sober, I was mad at everybody that did something to me and they didn't do, God forgive me, they didn't do a damn thing. But I thought they did because I ain't really get sober. But once that forgiveness, like I said, about my fourth or fifth year in sobriety, I really got a sense of, okay, I need to take accountability. I need to, I forgave a person that wronged me who was very close to me. And it took a lot of weight off my shoulders. And I still think about it today. I just don't dwell on it. But I can laugh. I talk about my sobriety like you just talk and laugh. And I get emotional a little bit, just a tad bit, but not like I used to. Just you just
Mhm.
one chair might come, might, yeah, I hope y'all don't see it. But now I talk about my sobriety like it's a comedy show. Like, man, I be at church like, oh Lord, I'm glad I don't smoke weed no more because I ate all that food. You know, and they just be laughing. But
Well,
it's just,
you made light of that. You found a way.
it's just, I mean, I'm just being honest. It's part of my
Yeah.
healing process. I have to laugh at all of the faults that I had. So you go from, the tattoo. I like saying it like that. Yeah. You go from the tattoo,
I
and
got you.
we heard the story about how you how you're a bigger advocate for domestic violence. So you got some stuff in the works. You've been having some stuff in the works. I know you're a busy woman and everything. I had to get on schedule right now. Like she ain't got that much time, y'all. So I'm telling you, you got any questions? I'm telling
You
you,
never lied.
you better get it in now. Because I'm telling you, next time you text, she may not text. If she texts a day after she was busy, I apologize. But
I'll get back to you.
she gonna get back
Just
to
forgive
you.
me for the time frame when I do.
She is that
Yeah.
one person that's going to get back to you. And it may not be the answer you want, but it's going to be a straight answer. And if she ain't got it, she going to get it for you. So you've been busy. You wrote a book, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now, my question is there a second book that's coming to this?
Well, let's
Is that it?
introduce the first one.
Okay.
The
Well,
first book came out. I don't know if you can see it. I got to take you off a blur. There it is.
Let's say damage good.
Book. This is the first book, Damaged Goods, my journey that came out in 2014, which is on Amazon currently. This started my therapy for me, just putting it all out there. Goes even deeper to kind of go back to some other spaces in my life, childhood, and show the dynamics of how it carries on when you become an adult and certain patterns that kind of get remembered. But there is a book 2 that is being worked on. And this one is to talk about the healing journey, because this book only just talked about the trauma of what happened. And I don't think at that point in time that I was in that thriving stage to actually to produce the healing part of it until 22 years later.
Wow.
because it's a journey. It's a journey. And that's what Thriving After Trauma Unashamed is now my wellness business, to really explore different alternative, non-clinical aspects on some choices that you can make to be healed, and how that can you can try it. There are other options. I have where I've introduced in my healing journey, I do a lot of art. I infuse art because I love to write. So I journal. That is included in my now educational workbook that's going to be introduced to allow people to articulate what they feel. Nobody has to see what you're talking about. This is all for you. This is your work. I want people to understand a lot of what I would love to see, what I'm going to be doing with Tattoo Your Wellbeing, is to show others how to stand on their own healing. Because physically, I'm not a healer. Physically, I can't go around talking about, oh, I lay hands on you and you heal. You heal. I don't knock it if that's what you want to believe, but faith without works is dead. Okay. So what you have to do is put in the work, and you have to go into some of those dark places, but you don't have to do it just all willy-nilly. Sometimes you can write it out. Sometimes you can go through your art. Sometimes you can have a professional help, talk therapy. You can go to the clinical side, because I have resources. Understand, just because I'm doing this on a non-clinical and you may need a little bit more, I have a resource to let you know where you can go, and then come back to me when you're ready to come back to the supportive end, because I'm the supportive phase of reconnecting you and teaching you how to be more sociable with support. Because what I realized throughout my healing journey, I stayed isolated quite a bit because nobody understands my
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it hurt so bad that I really didn't hear a lot of other survivors that could relate to me. But guess what? I didn't really need to when
yeah.
God got through with me. He said, no, because that's your story. But if I need you to do is to demonstrate for others that there's a way for them to heal through it emotionally.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
that's one thing I can do is introduce how you can heal emotionally. Now, the land on the hands or the physical, that's a God thing.
Right.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm not in that arena. Lord, God bless you. He's gonna
Right.
bless you. He's
Praise
gonna
the
bless you.
Lord.
Hold on to that belief because I believe that I'm walking around as a miracle with a bullet in my chest. If he
Amen.
wanted to remove the bullet, he would have.
Right.
But this
Right.
is a representation of a scar that I will never forget, and I can recognize it wasn't me who
Yeah.
healed me. I didn't heal me. God did. He healed me enough to allow me to keep that as a
Yeah.
reminder. Guess
Yeah.
what? I got you.
Oh wow. So the damaged goods. Working on book 2.
Working on book
So
2.
but I'm for everybody that's looking in this thing, damaged goods about to get better. It's about now. Let me say, God does great work, greater works. So check this video clip out, y'all, real quick. Watch this.
What the enemy meant for evil, he'll turn it for good. And he'll just make another way. This sickness is for his glory. That trial is for his glory. He's still making ways. It's not something we just read about, but he's still making ways. It's not just something we've heard about, but still making ways. It's not just something I heard preached about, but still making ways. We've seen it in our own lives. Still making ways. Come on, if you have a testimony, you should testify. He's still making ways. Come on, if you've seen him move mountains, you should testify. If you've seen him open up doors, testify. Oh, he's still making ways. We've seen him heal bodies here. I've seen him open up doors here. He's still making ways. So the next time you see a mountain, you should just see another way. The next time you see sickness or disease, I want you to see it's another way. And he
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
How can people, because I have people blowing up my phone, they said they can't see the broadcast. So is it a link that you put out there for them to see it?
It's on my Facebook page. They're not probably.
They're not on your Facebook
They
page.
They can actually go to YouTube. Empower CH18.
Oh, okay. Well, we have finished this, and they just don't have it. Yeah, I'm like,
It's on
look, I'm
YouTube.
getting like, I can't see it. I was like,
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's live on YouTube, streaming on YouTube right now. Yeah. Empower.
okay. Well, I hope y'all hearing some of that is
Yeah.
on what Empower
CH18.
Empower CHW-18 or just CH.
CH18.
Okay, Empower CH18 on YouTube. Y'all can hear this live. I'm sorry. I thought it was.
No, go ahead. You good.
I thought y'all could see it. I apologize that y'all just follow me from this end and please.
Yeah,
Go to
Empower
YouTube.
CH18.
I'm saying, hey, I need an assistant.
Yeah,
Because
and that's why I made the YouTube page and put it on there, and it'll show in the outro too, because it's actually
okay.
It it was up there, but I mean, hey, I'm trying to grow. I'm glad.
Look, you're doing excellent. I love that. You did good putting that video in the center and all that, and it was just playing. I was like, okay.
So
It
this
ain't
about to be
praise or nothing.
so this about to be a movie. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw one of your Facebook pages that it
We
actually you were looking for people, and it's supposed. Well, it's gonna be in St. Louis. So what's up with that?
we are. We are. I feel so blessed to have an opportunity to share with a dear friend who had been following me. We've been on previous other things, but we've never been able to come together. That busy schedule again, but the schedule has allowed us to finally come together. Shout out to Bishop Stephen, who actually believed in the story to take it from a book and taking parts of it to make it a movie. Now, you're going to have certain excerpts that is going to look different from what you're reading because they got to bring it to the screen.
Right.
But it's going to be a lot of points that still give you, yes, this is following from the book. But the Risky Lens film is taking on Damaged Goods, My Journey, to make it a movie. And we're in the process in the next coming weeks to actually start campaigning to raise money to have co-producers who wants to have their they could be sponsors to help us raise the money because this is the independent film. I've been independent for 2014 of getting this book out to many people who are still, thank you, purchasing the book as old as it is. But the transformation of everything with the movie now is it's been a long time coming. I never really knew that someone was going to take hold to say, come on.
Right.
I mean, I've had a lot of people come and ask and was telling me to think about it. And there's always the timing for different things. I had to really see what people really were when it comes to allowing me not to lose my voice in what is about to take place. And me being a co-producer in this segment now on my resume has allowed to just a little bit more elevation to me. I don't know anything about film, but the writing in itself, making sure that it is growing with consistency. My family plays a lot of big parts in there. Trust me, their names will not be mentioned. Only person's name is going to be in there is mine. So y'all just gonna have to understand. It really is not to make anybody go after my family, look at my family, and I want to say this for those who have actually caused harm to someone, because this movie is gonna be eye-opening, and it may make a lot more people become angry and want to attack and all these different things. My daughter's father served his time. Okay. He did. And between him and God, but anything else, the reason why this is becoming a movie, because we don't see enough African American women being portrayed and shown that they are going through what they're going through on the screen. Okay. I'm not here to put a spotlight on him. I'm putting a spotlight on African American women who are being victims in this world of domestic violence. This is not how the story ended. So if you are a survivor of that, I'm hoping that it will give you, it's going to give you some chills. It really is, because I'm making sure that they touch everything to bring it to light. That little clip that you saw here is me putting that into just giving you a snippet. But when you see the characters put in play and acting it out, I'm not doing this to create more victims. I want to have victors. I want more victories. I want to be able to triumph from their story. And they may not ever open up their mouth like I am, but they will feel more empowered because they can. And for those who the abusers, there's still room for you to change. There's still time for you to change. There's still forgiveness for any and everyone. I'm not here to put you on the cross. It's not even here to smear him. It's to talk about something that's actually happening every day. So I just wanted to put that out. I'm not here to badger. Why is she talking about it? And if she's forgiven and all this, I'm saying what I would want to hear. And I want to put that out there. I'm not here to tear down my daughter's father. I do not have a relationship with him. We do not have a relationship, but what we have in common is that we have a child who's now as a full-grown adult who can pick and choose whether or not she wants to go and have a relationship with him or without. But guess what? I don't have to. I don't have to have a relationship with anybody unless I want to. And that's what I feel good about being liberated now, to not allow someone to hold reins and the shame of what happened, or to even keep ridiculing him. Now I know it's going to come up and people going to want to know. But guess what? A lot of people want to know. Social media, come on. A lot of people want to see somebody in the particular, of the limelight. But understand, bad things happen to good people. And what the enemy meant for bad, God most definitely turned it around for my good. So I hate that I had to go through it, but God knew it was necessary. That where I'm at right now, I wouldn't be on this platform saying what I'm saying, doing what I'm doing, reaching people not only locally, statewide, but nationally. I have some things that I know that what I went through never would have thought to be a speaker, as a community health worker, leading, advising in a space to where I can help others learn how to navigate in the workplace or in your own personal home. And guess what? I get paid for it.
That's not right.
For being an expert. I did my due diligence. I've done my, this is not to brag on me. This is to show you why God kept me. If that makes sense to anybody, he kept me for a reason in a season like this. I wouldn't have anything to share if I didn't go through nothing. So I'm more appreciative and say, can I tell them thank you?
Right.
I don't know if I need to give the award to anybody and just saying, I really hope, because I don't wish nothing ill on nobody, but I hope that he is living an abundant life and have a way, because, that's up between him and God. But I really hope and sincerely hope that he's healed in spaces. And I hope others can feel that they can heal as well, too. You don't have to stay in an abusive state of being on nobody. You don't have to hurt and torture anybody. Get healed. Work on your healing.
Yes.
Work on you. Because I tell you this, there were some times I can admit that I became a monster mentally and didn't even recognize the person that I was. After saying that I didn't want that to happen to me, I had to, because I was just so afraid. But then I became this monster to myself. And I said, that's not you. Be you. You don't have to hurt nobody, because I was angry. I was so angry that I was fighting everybody. And no one could get close to me. So this movie is showing true deliverance.
Yes.
TATU your well-being. TATU is a wellness business to let you see how you can recover. But it's up to you, because can't nobody do it for you unless you do it for yourself.
Exactly. Amen.
So the movie is coming in 2025. I can't tell y'all which month, because we're right now trying to work on the campaign of raising the money. So the sooner we can raise the money and have the sponsors. I would say this just to add, we do have an email for those who want to be a part of sponsoring, help us to reach our $65,000 goal to raising the money. The email is damagedgoodsmovie2025@gmail.com. That means when we get everything up and running, we can send you the information so you can have it as soon as we release it of the campaign. All in details of what you can donate to be a part of it, and your name could be on the credits on the film.
Ooh, no. Okay.
Hey, I want to see my name, you know what I'm saying? But the name that I really want to see, and I'm giving a shout out in advance, is to my grandmother, God rest her soul, Betty Ruth Davis. She believed in me. She got me back into church after surviving. the whole ordeal. She said, "Baby, you got to go to God with that. You hold on. You got to let it go. God got something greater for you." And she called me her superstar.
Okay.
Superstar. My grandmother raised me, so with me having some of that, grandma said, grandma's taught me how to cook. I was definitely cleaning, and I was respectful to my grandmother. And those things you just don't let go of. And I hate it, and I know that we all are going to die one day.
Yeah.
But I miss her so much because she knew that there was something greater in me.
Yeah.
So just look at
grandmas know. They know. I miss my grannies too, and I'm glad you brought up your grandma because I dove into this right here. You got something that you do with your grandma's name.
Yes.
Harvest Pharmacy.
Yes, it's new. I have an outdoor garden that I've started, which still deals with holistic healing with herbs and plants, vegetables and fruit, because they helped me to heal my body. I had to learn a whole lot of what I needed to be well. Now, let me say this. I do recommend, if you have to take pharmaceutical medication to stay well, God also placed those doctors here, and you are to do your due diligence of research to know whether or not they're giving you the proper medication for your condition. For me, I take medication as well as I do natural, because some things I have not adapted full blown of all of my natural foods and everything yet to be able to come off of the medication to help me to stay well, because I still glitch every now and again, be like, I don't remember nothing. Why can't I remember anything? So I have things to keep because I have migraines. That's really, really, really horrible. Yeah. And it comes to a place where you don't want to lose your mind. And because this is a terrible thing to waste, I have to eat properly. I have to be out in the sun. So Ruth Healing Harvest Pharmacy is created to be a dedication to my grandmother, because she believed in life. She believed in giving people chances. She believed in she just that old school. She did things to make sure her 5 kids were taken care of. She was, surviving the best way she could, raising them as a single parent. And I learned those life skills watching grandma. So I'm going back to your roots and saying, how can you survive and how can you make sure others can have what they need? Because our food desert is terrible right about now. And I want to be able to provide that healthy eating for any and everybody. And making sure that you have natural medicine to help you manage your chronic pain. Because a lot of chronic pain can be subsided by natural foods of what you're eating, changing your diet, get enough rest, exercise. And shout out to Chris, my other partner, Chris Hodges. He was on your last episode you interviewed. He has a workout with the senior citizens that is so amazing to keep them moving. And and they loved it. So it's a holistic approach for Ruth Healing Harvest Pharmacy. So look out for what is coming with that. I'm harvesting right now, and I'm going to be expanding it to where it can be at any local area that you can go to shop at. And that's what I'm developing, like a supermarket type of thing. wasn't on the plan, but God knew the plan. So.
I'm coming straight. I'm just gonna text you and say, "Hey, I'm on my way."
What you need? Some greens?
Yeah. Grandma Ruth good old greens or something. I need potted greens.
Come and get and it's not with all that pesticide type of stuff. Everything I use is all natural to make sure our crops are growing the way it needs to. And it's raised in bed. It's not in the ground. Because that soil and stuff, and that's the whole different.
Right, all that.
But we're gonna be educated around here.
And that's good because we do have some farmers on this side, and on the Illinois side, and they do they don't do just the ground, they do the just saying it. One lady comes to the church and she actually just drops food. She just drops vegetables off and they're free. And of course, a lot of the old school old school Christians over there, they get they look bad. Ooh, you got some tomatoes,
It's an abundance.
you got some taters, and oh, they will come up with
Got some green tomatoes.
So I mean, that is like, like golden to me, man. Like I'm all about a holistic approach and everything, because of course I, I tell people I eat healthy now, but well, they put a term on it and call it vegan. So hey, it is what it is. That's fine.
Go back to touching nature, touch God,
and
what God created.
And that's what I'm doing, and I've been doing it for a while. So me looking for Grandma Ruth stuff, I sure will be, So we're about to get out of here in just a minute, but I do, if you don't mind, for those that just chimed in that didn't see, we couldn't, get on my Facebook page, but they only you. If you don't mind, I can show the trailer once again, show the clip of the movie, Damaged Goods. It will be a movie in 2025 based on the book, Damaged Goods. This is from the Queen, Atara. Watch this one more time, y'all.
What the enemy meant for evil, he'll turn it for good. And he'll just make another way. This sickness is for his glory. That trial is for his glory. He's still making ways. It's not something we just read about, but he's still making ways. It's not just something we've heard about, but it's not just something I heard preached about, but we've seen it in our own lives. Still making. Come on, if you have a testimony, you should testify. He's still making ways. Come on, if you've seen him move mountains, you should testify. If you've seen him open up doors, testify. Oh, he's still making ways. We've seen him heal bodies here. I've seen him open up doors here. He's still making ways. So the next time you see a mountain, you should just see another way. The next time you see sickness or disease, I want you to see it's another way. And
I love this song, so why
yes, it's another way, y'all. It is another way. Wow. I hope you enjoyed yourself, Miss Atara. So one last thing, any final thoughts for all those who are listening? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I really would like to tell people, don't live with regrets. Don't walk in and feeling shame for different things. Things happen. Walk in forgiveness, walk in your healing, and expect God to do a new thing in your life. I'm not walking around carrying that heavy burden anymore. It's my story. I'm here to share it to the rooftop. I'm not here to blame. I'm not here to talk down about him. If anything, I'm saying learn from our situation. If I can do that from both ends, learn from us. Learn to let go and let God. And what I mean by you have to heal first in order to learn how to do that. That's where the letting go will become easier. It's not easy all the time, but the more you give it to God, it becomes lighter. Just keep opening up your hands to God and say, take it, Lord. And he will show you how, and you have to follow him to do that. So don't live in regret, don't live in shame, and walk in your season of healing, walk in your season of thriving, walk in your season of not being ashamed of nothing. Be blessed. That's all I can say. Walk in your blessings.
Wow. Yeah. Walk in your blessings. Yes. Hey, I enjoyed you. Thank you, sis. Thank you for blessing us this evening. And I hope somebody got something out of it to where they can now recognize and then apply what they know and get some tools under their belt to help them through their journey. Don't do nobody else's. through your journey. So, whoo, boy, I like that. That was good. So,
Hey, we made it.
yeah, that
Thank
was
you
good.
for having me on to do this at this point in time. You rejuvenated me just from this whole conversation.
Oh, this is just the beginning right here. So, yeah, we're about to get up out of here. Don't forget Facebook at Kevin Kev, Y space KEV. Look for the icon that kind of look like me in a purple suit. Or if you missed it, you can go to YouTube and it is Empower, EMPOWER CH 18, cohort 18, and it's on YouTube. So check it out if you missed it. And check out the critics where you can email me or check out the any motivational whatever's will be coming up soon. I will have Miss Atara doing some of those things because I stalked her Instagram page and I noticed she do some inspirational talks too, and everything. Look at it. Y'all see it. Look how she's looking now. So
No shame, no shame. You found you found.
all right, y'all. We out here, cohort 18. You know what we doing at cohort 3, representing right here. We are all moving in purpose and not popularity. Good night, y'all.
Good night.